The Philadelphia Eagles made it all the way to the Super Bowl last year, only to lose by 3 points. But now they start their season with an entirely new challenge and one against a face that has dominated the NFL for the past 20 years. Hello, everybody. My name is Grant Mitchell, and I'm here putting out betting previews for every single game in Week 1 of the 2023 NFL season. I'm also putting out my favorite bets of the weekend and every weekend in the NFL season. I put out my 5 favorite MLB betting picks every day and a whole lot more. I've got all sorts of sports betting content coming to the channel, so make sure that you are all subscribed so you don't miss out on any of that. Now, let's talk about this matchup and let's talk about those Eagles. Look, we know the season they had last year. Nobody expected them to be as good as they were. Sure, people thought that maybe they could get into the wild card, but they dominated the regular season. Only lost one game in which Jalen Hurts started and finished healthy, and that was to the Commanders on a Monday Night Football game. Not one of the best teams. Whenever they played good teams, they were able to beat them, and they were able to get all the way to the Super Bowl and only lose by 3 points to the Chiefs. Now, you might say a loss is a loss, sure, but that exceeded expectations for the Eagles. That being said, they now have to face the burden of even greater expectations. Not winning the Super Bowl is a step backwards for the Eagles. Or if they lose a Super Bowl again, then it's at least a lateral step. The point being that if they want to move forward and progress, there's only one realistic outcome, and it is to win the Super Bowl. That's a lot to keep on that's a lot of pressure to bear if you are somebody on this Philadelphia team. Now, the Eagles are the favorites to win the NFC according to the odds makers and second in Super Bowl odds, right against the Chiefs team that they lost to last season. However, I have some questions about the Eagles, and I'm not putting this out there to say I don't believe them. These are genuine questions, not things that I have formulated answers to or opinions that I have, just questions, open-ended, yet to be filled in, left blank. Here are some of those. So first, will the rookies have immediate impact? Yes, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and these guys have lots of potential, and there's been a lot of smoke coming out of training camp in the preseason about how good they are. But when they step onto that field in Week 1, will they be immediate impact players? Will they have the mental understanding to go out there and execute their jobs? I expect them to improve, of course, just like you expect all young players to improve. But how long will it take for them to find their footing, to blend in with the chemistry the Eagles have, et cetera, et cetera? Also, will the loss of both coordinators come back to hurt Philadelphia? Jonathan Gannon ran the defense last year. Now he's the Cardinals head coach. Shane Steichen, who did tremendous work with Justin Herbert with the Chargers, comes over, gets the absolute best out of Jalen Hurts, makes him an MVP candidate. Now he's the head coach of the Colts. What's that going to do for Hurts and this Eagles offense? And speaking of Hurts, is he a legitimate top 5 player in the league, or did he just have a great season? I'm not trying to cap his potential. I promise you I'm not. But if we look at some of the other top players in the league, let's look at a Lamar Jackson, a unanimous MVP 3 or 4 seasons ago, and now he's floated into that maybe somewhere 6 to 10 range for quarterbacks. If Jalen Hurts lands in that, then sure, he's going to be a very solid player. But a 6 to 10 ranked quarterback is not going to win you a Super Bowl if you don't have a truly overwhelming defense. Now, that being said, the Eagles did have that last season. They had the second most sacks in a season in NFL history, and they also finished third in turnover differential. I still expect this Eagles defense to be very good, but I don't think they will get that amount of sacks again simply because that's asking for an awful lot. And turnover luck, yes, you can control it to a certain extent, but it is also lucky. So I think the Eagles are going to take steps backwards in both sacks and turnovers. And that's not me criticizing their level of play. It's just saying that there is an element of luck to both of those. And the odds are against them finding as much luck as they did last season. Now, the Eagles were second in scoring offense last season and 7th in scoring defense, which led to them having the best point differential in the entire league. So from that perspective, you could make the case that no team was better than Philadelphia last year. All of that considered, they only went 10-10 against the spread, which is a reflection of how highly the odds makers revered them. And they split the over-under just about even, 11 overs to only 9 unders. They got off to a crazy hot start last year. That game ended 38-35, and I think they went over by 24 points against the Lions. Now, I'm not expecting them to score that many points, especially against the New England Patriots. The Patriots offense was putrid last season. There's no joking about it. It was absolutely terrible. It was a horrible time to watch. It should be better this season. Now, I'm not high on Mac Jones. As a matter of fact, I think the Patriots need to move off of him. But it's no coincidence that having a defensive coordinator running the offense forced his numbers to regress in every way last season. Now he gets Bill O'Brien, a guy who has experience with the Patriots and Bill Belichick and that culture. He's going to come in there, should at least help the offense show a greater level of competence, even if they are bereft of playmakers. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster is the number one wideout. In my personal opinion, he's at best a number 3 receiver. In Kansas City, he was a number 2 to Travis Kelce, and even then he looked out of place. I think a 3 or a 4 is Juju's best spot. He's asked to be the number 1. I'm not so sure that's going to work out very well for the Patriots here. The defense is going to have to be elite if the Patriots want to have a winning record or at least sniff 7-8 wins. Now, that being said, I am a big fan of Christian Gonzalez. He's one of my favorites, especially from a value perspective, to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Matthew Judon consistently gets double-digit sacks, has improved every year he's been in New England. He has a real chance to be the sacks leader, and if he does do that, then he too could creep into the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. The Patriots, despite being much worse than the Eagles last year, not that dissimilar in spread record. They went 7-9-1, so they weren't profitable, and they split the over-under at 8-9, so just about even. I am really interested to hear which side of these lines that you guys are going to be on. So do me a favor, drop some comments, let me know what your favorite picks for this game are. Like I said, I will be coming out with my personal favorite picks in a separate video, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for that. Like the video if you did enjoy, and until next time, I will see you all very soon in my next preview.